Hey, and welcome to the opening of the next 4 booster packs from the M21 booster box. So let's get straight into it here. This must be, like 17, 18, 19, and 20, I think. So let's see what we have here. So 2 Chandras and 2 Lilianas. Right, let's start with the lilies. All right. Let's see what we have here. Oop. Come on, you little devil, you. Yeah, we might actually get some devils. I know that the Pitchburn Devils is in the set. So, okay, the first card is a common green creature, a dinosaur. It's the Colossal Dreadmore. So it's a 6/6 creature with trample. Oh, I don't know if you can hear that, but that's our ice cream truck just passing by. It cost 4 and 2 green to cast. All right, and then we have a red common sorcery, Crash Through. Cost 1 red to cast, and it says creatures you control gain trample until end of turn, and you get to draw a card. Then we have a Spined Megalodon. So it's a common creature, a shark. It's a 5/7 with hexproof that costs 5 and 2 blue to cast, and it says whenever Spined Megalodon attacks, scry 1. Then we have Jerez. So this is a black common sorcery that costs 1 black to cast and says target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a non-creature, non-land card from it. That player discards that card. Then we have a green common instant, Life Goes On. It costs 1 green to cast, and it says you gain 4 life. If a creature died this turn, you gain 8 life instead. So cast this at the right time, and it's could do pretty good. Then we have a red common creature, a Goblin Shaman. Is the Goblin Arsonist. It's a 1/1 creature that costs 1 red to cast, and it says when Goblin Arsonist dies, you may have it deal 1 damage to any target. So you can take out a small creature or a token or something like that when it dies. Then we have a Makeshift Battalion, a white common creature, a human soldier that is a 3/2 creature. It costs 2 and a white to cast, and it says whenever Makeshift Battalion and at least 2 other creatures attack, put a +1/+1 counter on Makeshift Battalion. So if you have a lot of attacking creatures, you can kind of boost this with counters. Oh, and we did get a devil. So we have a red common creature, a devil. It's the Pitchburn Devils. So it's a 3/3 creature that costs 4 and a red to cast, and it says when Pitchburn Devils dies, it deals 3 damage to any target. So again, you can ping something when this dies. Then we have a white common creature, a dog. It's the Rambunctious Mutt. It's a 3/4 creature that costs 3 and a 2 white to cast, and it says when Rambunctious Mutt enters the battlefield, destroy target artifact or enchantment an opponent controls. And then we have a Llanowar Visionary. So it's a green common creature, an elf druid. It's a 2/2 that costs 2 and a green to cast, and it says when Llanowar Visionary enters the battlefield, draw a card. You can tap it, and then you can add a green mana to your mana pool. And then for the uncommon, we have a white uncommon creature, a Pegasus Wren Wingmare. It's a 2/1 flying that costs 2 and a white to cast, and it says non-creature spells cost 1 more to cast. Oh, okay. Then we have a black uncommon creature, a human warlock. It's Liliana's devotee. So it's a 2/3 that costs 2 and a black to cast. It says zombies you control get +1/+0, so good for those zombie decks, zombie tribal decks. At the beginning of your end step, if a creature died this turn, you may pay 1 and a black. If you do so, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. Oh, pretty cool. Then we have a uncommon multicolor sorcery, the Experimental Overload. So it costs 2 and a blue and a red to cast, and it says create an XX blue and red weird creature token, where X is the number of instant and sorcery cards in your graveyard. Then you may return an instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. Exile Experimental Overload. And then for the rare, we have a rare legendary enchantment, Teferi's Ageless Insight. It costs 2 and 2 blue to cast, and it says if you would draw a card, except the first one you draw for each of your draw steps, draw 2 cards instead. Oh, pretty cool. And then we have the Windscarred Crag. It's a land that comes into the battlefield tapped. You gain 1 life, and you can tap it for either a red or a white mana, and then a night token. All right, on to the next Liliana pack. So let's see what we have in this pack. Okay, the first one is a green common instant, Run Afoul. So it costs 1 green to cast, and it says target opponent sacrifices a creature with flying. So good against flying decks, I guess. Then we have a blue common instant, Opt. So it costs 1 blue to cast, and it says scry 1 and draw a card. Then we have a black common sorcery, Sanguine Indulgence. So it costs 3 and a black to cast, and says this spell costs 3 less to cast if you've gained 3 or more life this turn. Return up to 2 target creature cards from your graveyard to your hand. So this could be pretty powerful actually if you use it right. Then we have a green common creature, a dinosaur, the Honorary Dilophosaur. So it's a 2/2 creature with death touch, and it costs 3 and a green to cast. It says whenever Honorary Dilophosaur attacks, if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, Honorary Dilophosaur gets +2/+2 until end of turn. So kind of a cool boost there if you do have something with the power 4 or greater. And then we have a red common creature. We have an elemental dog, the Ignis Cur. So it's a 1/2 creature that costs 1 and a red to cast, and it says for 1 and a red, Ignis Cur gets +2/+0 until end of turn. Then we have a Prismite, a common artifact creature, a golem. It's a 2/1 creature that costs 2 to cast, and for 2 mana you can add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. Then we have a Saber-Tooth Mauler, a green common creature, a cat. It's a 3/3 that costs 3 and a green to cast, and it says at the beginning of your end step, if a creature died this turn, put a +1/+1 counter on Saber-Tooth Mauler and untap it. Very cool. Then we have a Valorious Steed. So it's a white common creature, a unicorn. That's a 3/3 with vigilance. It costs 4 and a white to cast, and it says when Valorious Steed enters the battlefield, create a 2/2 white knight creature token with vigilance. I guess it's kind of the rider, maybe. Then we have a white common creature, a human cleric. It's the Anointed Chorister. So it's a 1/1 that has lifelink, and it costs 1 white to cast, and then it says for 4 and a white, Anointed Chorister gets +3/+3 until end of turn. So you can boost it, but it does cost kind of a lot of mana. And then for the uncommons, we first have a white uncommon creature, a human soldier, Siege Striker. So it's a 1/1 with double strike, and it costs 2 and 1 white to cast, and it says whenever Siege Striker attacks, you may tap any number of untapped creatures you control. Siege Striker gets +1/+1 until end of turn for each creature untapped this way. Oh, that's pretty cool. Then we have a green uncommon creature, a Hydra, is the Wildwood Scourge. So it's a 0/0 creature that costs X and a green to cast, and it says Wildwood Scourge enters the battlefield with X +1/+1 counters on it. Whenever 1 or more +1/+1 counters are put on another non-Hydra creature you control, put a +1/+1 counter on Wildwood Scourge. So you can boost this pretty fast if you want to. And then we have a uncommon multicolor creature, a vampire noble, Indulging patrician, I think, patrician, yeah, Indulging patrician. So it's a 1/4 that has lifelink and flying. It costs 1 and a white and a black to cast, and it says at the beginning of your end step, if you gained 3 or more life this turn, each opponent loses 3 life. So this would be pretty cool in a multiplayer deck or multiplayer game. And then we have a rare land. We have a Temple of Melody. So it's a land that comes into the battlefield tapped. You get to scry 1, and then you can add either a black or a green mana to your mana pool. And then we have, it's just a foil plains. So regular foil plains. Very nice. And we have a Rugged Highlands that comes into the battlefield tapped. You gain 1 life, and you can add either a red or a green mana to your mana pool, and an angel token. Alright, then let's get on to the third pack. Let's see what we have here. All right, the first card is a green common sorcery, Track Down. So it costs 1 and a green to cast, and it says scry 3, then reveal the top card of your library. If it's a creature or a land card, draw a card. Then we have Alchemist Gift, a black common instant that costs 1 black to cast, and a target creature gets +1/+1 and gains your choice of Death Touch or Lifelink until end of turn. Then we have a green common creature, a dinosaur, Drowsing Pteranodon. So it's a 3/3 defender that costs 1 and a green to cast, and it says as long as you control a creature with power 4 or greater, Drowsing Pteranodon can attack as though it didn't have defender. Oh, okay. And then we have a blue common creature, a spirit. We have the Tome Anime. So it's a 3/3 creature that costs 3 and a blue to cast, and it says Tome Anime can't be blocked as long as you've drawn 2 or more cards this turn. Oh, okay, again, so for one of those drawing decks. Then we have a black common instant, Village Rites. So it costs 1 black to cast, and it says as an addition to cast, and as an additional cost to cast this spell, sacrifice a creature and you get to draw 2 cards. Then we have a green common enchantment aura, Citizen Training. So it costs 1 and a green to cast, and it says enchant creature you control. When Citizen Training enters the battlefield, draw a card, and enchanted creature gets +1/+0 and has trample. Really good boost card there, actually. Then we have a black common instant, Finishing Blow. It costs 4 and a black to cast, and it simply says destroy target creature or planeswalker. Then we have a white common creature, a dog, the Alpine Watchdog. It's a 2/2 creature with vigilance that costs 1 and a white to cast, and that's about it. The rest of it was just text, not abilities. And then we have a Spellgorger Weird. Again, I do believe, didn't we already have one of those? No, maybe it wasn't this turn. Oh, I'll go through it then. It's a common creature, a weird, Spellgorger Weird. It's a 2/2 creature that costs 2 and a red to cast, and it says whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put a +1/+1 counter on Spellgorger Weird. Then we have a green common sorcery. We have Hunter's Edge. So it costs 3 and a green to cast, and it says put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Then that creature deals damage equal to its power to a creature you don't control. So pretty cool that you can kind of ping other creatures with that. Oh, and then we have the cute dog card. We have a uncommon white creature, a dog, Selfless Survivor. So it's a 1/1 creature that costs 1 white to cast, and it says sacrifice Selfless Survivor. Another creature you control gains indestructible until end of turn. So as you can see, very, very cute dog card there. And then we have a blue uncommon instant. We have Miscast. It costs 1 blue to cast, and it says counter target instant or sorcery spell unless its controller pays 3. And then we have another Indulging Patrician. So a double of those. Oh, and then we have a mythic rare creature, black creature, a worm. It's the Massacre Worm. So it's a 6/5 creature that cost 3 and 3 black to cast, and it says when Massacre Worm enters the battlefield, creatures your opponents control get -2/-2 until end of turn. It also says whenever a creature an opponent control dies, that player loses 2 life. So pretty cool card there. And also, of course, a mythic rare, which is great. And then we have a Jungle Hollow that comes into the battlefield tapped, and you gain 1 life, and you can tap it for either a black or a green mana and a soldier token. All right, last pack of the stream. See what we get. Pretty cool. We've got the Massacre Worm there as well. Okay, first one is a black common creature, a human rogue, masked blackguard. So it's a 2/1 with flash that costs 1 and a black to cast, and it says for 2 and a black, masked blackguard gets +1/+1 until end of turn, so you can boost it. And again, we have the honorary Dilophosaur, the dinosaur. And then we have a red common creature, a ogre warrior. Is the Onake, I think? Onake? Ogre? It's a 4/2 that costs 2 and a red to cast. And then we have a blue common sorcery, Read the Tides. It costs 5 and a blue to cast, and it says choose either draw 3 cards or return up to 2 target creatures to their owner's hands. And then we have a black common creature, a fungus. It's the Deathbloom Talent. Oh, I remember the Talents from back in, what was it? Fallen Empire, I think. One of the first sets I played. It's a black creature, a 3/2 that costs 2 and a black to cast, and it says when Deathbloom Talent dies, create a 1/1 green sprawling creature token. Very cool. And then we have a black common enchantment or Infernal Scouring. So it costs 1 and a black to cast. It's an enchant creature, and it says enchanted creature gets +2/+0 and has, when this creature dies, draw a card. Oh, sliding around a bit there. Oh well. Then we have a blue common enchantment or Rousing Reed. So it costs 2 and a blue to cast. It's an enchant creature, and it says when Rousing Reed enters the battlefield, draw 2 cards, then discard a card. An enchanted creature gets +1/+1 and has flying. And then we have a black common creature, a skeleton archer, which also is called skeleton archer. It's a 3/3 creature that costs 3 and a black to cast, and it says when skeleton archer enters the battlefield, it deals 1 damage to any target. Then we have a white common instant, the Swift Response. So it costs 1 and a white to cast, and it says destroy target tapped creature. And then for the uncommons, we first off have a uncommon creature, a human warrior, a Seasoned Hollowblade. So it's a 3/1 creature that costs 1 and a white to cast, and it says discard a card, tapped Seasoned hollow blade, it gains indestructible until end of turn. Oh, pretty cool. Then we have a blue uncommon enchantment, is the riddle form. So it costs 1 and a blue to cast, and it says whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you may have riddle form become a 3/3 Sphinx creature with flying in addition to its other types until end of turn. And for 2 and a blue, scry 1. Very cool. Oh, not there. And then we have a multicolor uncommon creature, a snake, the Law Scale Codal. So it's a 2/2 creature, multicolor, cost 1 and a green and a blue to cast, and it says whenever you draw a card, put a +1/+1 counter on Law Scale Codal. Oh, and then we have another legendary. So we have a black rare legendary creature, a human warlock. It's Kervek the Spiteful. It costs 2 and 2 black to cast. It's a 3/2, and it says other creatures get -1/-1. Okay, so unfortunately, it didn't say other creatures your opponents control. Otherwise, this would have been great. But yeah, well, I guess this could work in some sort of circumstances. Pretty good. And then we have a foil, uncommon, multicolor creature, a orc pirate. It's the Direfleet Warmonger. So it's a 3/3 creature that costs 1 and a black and a red to cast, and it says at the beginning of the combat on your turn, you may sacrifice another creature. If you do, Dire Warmonger gets +2/+2 and gains trample until end of turn. And it is a foil, as you can see there. I do like when they do use the foil to kind of accentuate different details. Very, very cool. All right, and then we have a swamp and a griffin token. All right, so this was the content of, I guess this must have been 17, 18, 19, and 20 from the booster box. If you did like the video, please leave a like, and if you have any comments for me, please leave a comment in the comment section. If you're interested in any upcoming streams, whether it be magic streams or it be PlayStation 4 gaming streams, please subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to get notification of upcoming streams and new videos. Until next time, stay safe, and yeah, I'll see you all later. Bye.